Welcome welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course hearing about how fantastic suspension parts are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me today for another episode of the Snail Trail 4x4 Off-Road podcast is Mr. Offroad himself, Jimmy Jett. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I had a very stressful morning, but we got it figured out, I think. And everything's back on track. So
yeah. Did you figure out the problem?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. The Moreflate website went down, which is no bueno.
No bueno at all.
No bueno at all. We can't do customer service or anything at all because everything is done through the website. So Brennan actually called me to tell me.
He was the one that noticed?
Yeah. He's actually building a new website for us right now. So he's working on creating the staging website today.
Yes. Okay.
And so he was like, hey, I went in and I can't get into the website at all. It says everything's down. There's no gateway. I was like, oh, shit. So tracked everything down. Essentially, the host changed their name servers. And instead of redirecting things, just setting up a simple redirect on the name servers, they just made their old legacy name servers stop working. So I had to go into the domain host and redirect the DNS to the correct name servers. And now it has to propagate, which could take upwards of 72 hours.
Since you have the computer in front of you, why don't you check Snail Trail 4x4 real quick?
Okay.
Because I believe we're on the same.
Did you transfer over to SiteGround?
I did.
Oh, yeah, possibly. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, everything's working on the Snail Trail website.
Okay. They just like me better.
Apparently, but everything was still working on the My Offroad Radio website, which is really weird. I'm like, it was showing the old legacy name servers, so they just shut off the Moreflate ones for whatever reason. I was like,
lame
fuckers. You guys owe me some money now. So anyways, yeah, I got that all back up and running, but that was
good.
That's never good.
It's a stressful moment when your business is shut down for a little bit.
Yeah, and nobody knows why.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, so how's your day going?
My day's been fairly good. Today is the mini assistant's last day of school.
Congratulations.
And so we walked to school for the last time ever.
I was going to say forever.
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't foresee us walking to school ever again because we're going to move.
Oh, that's right.
Sometime this summer, we're going to move.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year, she's going to go to the same school. So we're going to have to drive across towns.
Yeah.
And then when she does move to a closer school that is closer to the new house, you just don't walk on the roads out there.
Yeah.
It's not the safest thing. There's no sidewalks, no curb,
shoulders.
no shoulders. Especially the road right outside my house.
Mm-hmm.
I got in a car accident there when I was in my early 20s because I drove off the road and into the ditch. And the ditch right off of that road is like 2 to 3 feet, maybe 3 to 4 feet deep in places.
Yeah, it depends on if they've just weeded it out or not.
Yeah. And where I drove off the road, there was no white line.
Oh, really?
Like the road had eroded
wow.
to the white line point. And so I went off, I only went off the road, to the white line, and then it caught my tire and threw me into the ditch. So it's not the safest spot out there. I'll ride a bike and stuff every once in a while, but it's.
I don't know how people ride bikes through there.
There's some, I know some of the roads, I know the roads well enough out there that there's roads that I won't ride a bike down. I'm like, that's just silly. It's not safe.
Yeah.
But I'll ride some of them because there's a big area where people could pass you.
Yeah.
Where there's some roads that are so curvy that there's either stopping traffic, and they're going 5 to 10 miles an hour, or they're passing you and pretty much shoving you off the road.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. It's not a place where we're going to walk to school.
Country life.
Yeah. So that's going to be, it was kind of I wouldn't say an emotional day, but it was sort of an end to an era that was happening. So it was fun though. It went well. We got her one of those little chalk signs that you can write on and you say, it's the last day of school. These are the things I like. And this is, what I want to be when I grow up. She wants to be a fashion designer.
Really?
That's what she wrote. I was like, I've never seen you even care about that.
Yeah.
But okay.
All right.
Yep. Mint chocolate chip ice cream's her favorite ice cream. And she enjoys playing, reading, singing, and piano.
And next year it'll be welding. And
maybe.
Rebuilding carburetors.
Yeah, playing with a laser.
Oh, that's funny. Well, cool.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, which is yesterday from when the episode comes out, is the assistant's last day of school.
Nice.
Because I was supposed to be up.
You walking her to school too?
No, that's a little far down Roseville Road and not the good areas of Roseville Road.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to be up wheeling with first gen Dave and my buddy Chris with an LJ. And they went up onto Fordyce. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I can totally do it. It's, Monday, Tuesday. I should be able to handle that. I'll push off recording the podcast to Wednesday. And then when it got closer, they're like, you still in? I'm like, I think so. Let me look at the schedule. And then I looked at the schedule and I'm like, Monday was the mini assistant's first day of swim practice. Tuesday was the mini assistant's last day of school. Wednesday's the assistant's last day of school. And then we have stuff going on tonight. I'm like, ooh, sorry guys. Like if it was any other week, probably could pull it off. But a lot of stuff ending and a lot of stuff beginning this week.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We are looking at here a new month.
Yes.
We're in the new month. We've had a couple things going on already this month because it is Power Tool Month.
It is.
With Flex Tools, Flex Power Tools. So exciting. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the episode with Corey, Lawless Corey on Monday. I got to learn a lot about some of the battery technology that Flex is coming out with that's really allowing the tool industry to kind of make a jump forward, the power tool industry.
Yeah, they're really pushing the boundaries and have smart BMSs, battery management systems inside the batteries, which not a lot of, I don't think there's any other company doing that.
I don't think so.
There might be, not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're really pushing the boundaries with these stacked lithium batteries that they're coming out with.
Yeah. So really cool stuff. We have, what is the contest going on this week?
This week is a tag 3 friends. Follow Flex, follow Snail Trail 4x4 and tag 3 friends. That post came out on Monday when the episode was released. Not exactly when, but within a matter of hours from when that was released. Can I schedule Instagram posts? I've never tried.
I think there's an app for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably do it through Meta.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Through the business suite.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Anyways, I've never tried to do it. So it came out at 9:00 when the podcast came out at 4. So, but it's out there. It's live. Just get on. You tag 3 friends, make sure to follow Flex and follow Snail Trail 4x4. And then we'll do a random Instagram picker thing and somebody will win. Whoever's tagging them is going to win.
Yep.
What do they win? They're going to win a impact driver, the drill driver, a battery, a charger, and a bag.
Sweet.
That kit.
Yep.
The stacked lithium.
Yeah. And that's
power turbo kit or whatever they.
Yeah. And that's the comment on that post on Snail Trail 4x4.
Yes.
With that info
on the Instagram. Cause I've had my Instagram page is linked to my Facebook page and I've had some people
Trent
commenting on the Facebook page, even though in I have rules down below, we'll only pay for shipping to the continental US if you live outside of it. You have to cover costs. And what I forgot, there was another rule in there as well. But one of those is we're only counting the ones on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. So post on there, go out there. If you want to win that, you got it right now. It's I think there's close to 100 comments, which is still pretty good odds for something that's $620 retailing at Lowe's or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty outstanding. What do we have for the monthly giveaway?
For the month of June?
Yes, for our Snail Squad members.
We have a really big tool package.
Yes, we do.
We have a really big package.
Yes, we do also.
So it is essentially a big ass starter kit that we've put together from Flex Tools. We use one of their combo kits that already comes with, I think, 4 or 5 different tools. And then we added in the Portaband as well as a 4.5-inch grinder.
Yes.
So I think you get like a Sawzall, a drill, an impact, a big impact.
I don't think you can say Sawzall.
Oh,
That's another company.
Reciprocating saw.
Yep. And a circular saw.
And a circular saw, and then a few batteries too. So yeah, so that's a big kit.
Pretty much you get more or less one of everything that they make.
Pretty much.
I think there's some carpentry things that we did not include.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, that's for the giveaway this month. We did just go through the May Snail Squad stuff. So the FNG's birthdays and everybody's irate 4x4 subscriptions. And so there was quite a few people that had annual subscriptions who wasn't set up on a subscription. You just paid the one-time annual, and that has now lapsed. So go and make sure, if you remember signing up for Snail Squad as an annual thing, that you go in and renew that. And if you want to.
Yeah. But we did have 5. We lost 5 people this month, and they were all annual subscribers from, last year.
Yep.
Any of the monthly ones, nobody left. So it just seemed kind of odd that month rolled away, and that we lost some of those members. So we're just doing a shout out. If you wanted to continue to be in, or if you don't know when your subscription ended, go check it out you have to do it on your side under your subscriptions.
Yeah, because this would be a really bad month for you wanting to be in, and everything kind of lapsed and you don't realize that you're not actually in the giveaway.
Correct.
So that's why we're bringing it up. So there's that. We have a couple of wieners.
We do indeed.
For May's giveaway. Which was the 2 10.6 PSI Pros from Morphlate, the compressors that are set your pressure and walk away. You can set the pressure of the compressor and then literally just let your Morphlate system air up your vehicle, and it'll shut itself off when it reaches the desired PSI. So
I don't have the names in front of me. You got them there in the computer.
Yeah. Well, we know one of them for sure.
I know one. Oh, I know them both. Now.
Okay.
John Williams.
That was the other one.
That was the one that, yeah. And then Truck Norris.
Yeah, Mr. Michael Pagetta.
I don't know if he has his Instagram as Truck Norris, though, anymore.
Really?
I think he changed
it. MPG's LOL.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MPG's LOL. So, yeah, Mr. Michael Pagetta. Pagetta.
No, it's Padawan.
Padawan. He's a Jedi. That's funny. So yeah, Mike, congratulations. And John, congratulations. We'll be reaching out to you guys to confirm shipping addresses, and then I'll get those pre-orders edited and modified because they're in the system right now, so that you had a spot in the queue. We'll get those edited so that they have your information. So once everything's ready to ship, you guys will get all the notifications and everything will just get shipped out to you. So,
yeah. Sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
Shall we do FNGs?
Yeah, let's
which we didn't get any.
Here we go.
0 FNGs this month.
Lamos. Yeah. It's all right. I don't like me either, so I understand. Man. So yeah, FNGs, there was none for May. Birthdays for June. We have 1-year birthdays. We got 3 here. So Franco Portelli, Riley Mayo, and Will Richardson.
Nice. All 1-year birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. And I know I just added Radley Mayo to the Facebook group. So,
oh, nice.
Congratulations on your 1 year. You got in.
Sweet.
Maybe it was a month or so ago, but yeah.
0 2 years.
0 2s.
And a couple 3 years.
Cool.
We got William Eck.
William.
Matt Dresselhaus.
Matt Dresselhaus. Thank you very much.
He sent us that little blue oval we have over there.
Oh, never mind. Why? Can we deny him?
I think we can based on that. Yeah. Okay. And then that's it for 3 years.
All right.
4 years.
I'm sure this one's massive. This is pretty much when we announced it and started it up.
Yep.
Okay. 4 years.
4 years. We got Tom Saldivar, which is Doc.
Doc. Yes. Thank you.
Shy. Yeah. Vegan Overlanding.
Yeah. That trail chaser follower guy.
Jesse Farmer.
Thank you.
Jeremy
Borja. Gracias.
East Coast Klein.
Oh, Mike Klein.
Mike Klein.
Thanks for sending me that car dash parts website. I think I found a red fender not far from me.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Up in Marysville.
Oh, that's cool. That's not too bad. I was just up there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm heading up there tomorrow and I'm going to go check it out. I'm taking Clifford up there.
Yeah.
Going to check it out, see how close it is because it's labeled burgundy. So I'm kind of like, but from the photos, it looks close.
Yeah.
It looks right.
Make a burgundy?
I think they made a darker red version. So I'm going to check that out, but then I'm going to go see Lawless Corey and do another test fit on the prototype 3rd gen Tundra. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this one's perfect.
Yeah.
And then, so hopefully we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone that way. That'll be fun.
Cool. And then we have 2 more.
Okay.
Special shout out to Sherpa Drinks.
Sherpa Drinks. Why special shout out to him?
Just because he's annoying.
Yes.
So
that's true. And we miss your face.
And he got me balls.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I need to go get some more of those.
Yeah. Or just email him and say, give me more balls, Sherpa.
I need more balls.
I need your balls.
And then the last one is Mr. Robert Gutzman.
Dang.
Yeah.
I actually thought about him the other day. A big greenish Jeep drove by me and I was like,
really?
Is that? Oh, yeah. No, he's no longer with us.
Yeah, he's not around anymore.
Yeah. So honorary member.
Yep.
Forever member. He's going to probably be our longest member.
Probably.
To some extent. But our good buddy Rob Gutzman passed away a few years ago. And I actually canceled his account. Yep. I didn't want to bother his wife at the time because it passed away really close to the start of the end of the month. And so I went and banned him. That was how that's how the only way I could get it to cancel. And so, I went, it was at that time we were dealing with Patreon.
Yeah.
And I contacted Patreon. I'm like, hey, we have a user that passed away.
Yeah. How do I stop the payment? And they're like, the only way you can do that is banning them. I was like, oh, that seems bizarre. Yeah.
So I went in and banned him, but he's not actually banned in our hearts.
Nope. He's always going to be around. So anyways, special shout out to Rob. Miss you. You're always going to be around with us, man. Hope you're enjoying the wheeling up there. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll find out if there's any wheeling soon.
Yep. Well, cool. That is all of the birthdays.
Cool.
So,
all right.
It's fun getting into 4-year birthdays.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Let's see. What else do we got for housekeeping? Did we have a winner from the first week contest?
We haven't picked that yet. Let's do that right now.
Okay. Time out. And we're back 6 hours later.
Something like that. Yeah. We got it going though. We figured it out.
Yep. It's almost like we've done this before.
Yeah.
Just every once in a while.
Once a year.
We can make something happen. So we have 3 winners. 3 winners.
Lucky individuals.
From the first contest, which was the 1/4-inch impacts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
are freaking badass.
They are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I really like it. I've been playing around with mine a little bit. So let's see. I believe that the 1/4-inch impact kits as well. I think they probably come with a bag. I think most of the kits come with a bag, charger, battery, and the 1/4-inch impact.
Yep. With the release button.
Yeah.
The chuck release.
Dude, it's so nice. It takes you a moment to get used to having it. But once you go to another brand, you're like, why doesn't this have this button?
Yeah. I have to use 2 hands to release this now?
Yeah,
what the hell?
It sucks.
Anyways, so we have we did a random number generator 1 through 34. So 34 entries on that one. And we had number 1, number 14, and number 23.
Yep. Not in that order, but yes, that's how the numbers we got.
Yep.
The first one that actually came up was number 14, and that was project_golden_badger.
Yeah.
Zachary from Iowa. Yeah. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
We know your name because it's in your profile.
Yep. Which makes our life a lot easier.
That does help out. Yeah.
The next number to come up was number 1.
Yes.
And that's the first person to post. So whoever took the initiative.
That was the most recent post, I think, is the way.
Is the way it sets it up?
I think it's,
Gotcha. So number 34 would have been the first one to post.
I don't know. I can look it up if you really want.
whatever. Number 1, which, so that's just how we counted it out on the list, was Mr. Rover.
Mr. Rover.
Rover Don.
Yes.
Although I don't think Don should win it. I think Donny should win it.
Donny, I believe, did win it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I don't know how it says top posts and then, yeah.
How they're ordering it?
How they're ordering it. But,
interesting.
But I scrolled down because I know that our buddy Nick said, oh, he should win because he has the most likes on his post. And he has more likes than Donny's has. So I don't know how it's filtered, but.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Anyways,
Donny.
Donny, you won. Congratulations.
Yep. And then number 23.
Yeah. This one was random.
This one is super random, but pretty cool.
Yeah. So fun. Ready, go.
Project Budget Overland.
No, try again.
Budget Overland Official.
There you go.
There we go. That's what it is. I was getting the Project Golden.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No project in that one.
Yeah. Budget Overland Official. So Mr. Benji.
Benji, congratulations, buddy.
So we'll get in contact with you guys. Make sure we got correct shipping info. And then I think we'll have Donny pick his up in person.
Yeah.
That way we make sure Donny gets it, not Dawn.
Yeah. Because I'm doing some laser etching for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so that'll work out fine.
Sweet. Congrats, guys. So that's the first 3 winners of Power Tool Month, the Flex Power Tool Month. And we're going to have another winner at the end of this week. So if you guys are not paying attention, hopefully you're paying attention. That makes sense, right?
No.
Yeah.
But get in this week. This is a fantastic one that's going on. I mean, this drill driver kit it's the kit I bought. It's my starter kit. So if you're low on power tools and you need to get some, this is a fantastic one to get to. If you are if you're thinking, this red version isn't really cutting it anymore, and I want this dark gray and green version, then, this is a great opportunity for you as well.
I agree. So really cool kit coming out this week. Again, just go find that post on Snail Trail 4x4 on Instagram and then comment, like, and tag 3 buddies.
Yep. It's just a picture of the kit. It's a white background picture of the kit. So find that one.
Awesome. I think that does it for all the housekeeping for now.
Geez, I hope so. That's like 20 something minutes of housekeeping.
Yeah. But we got some cool winners there for people.
We got a lot of winners right now.
We got
awesome.
5 winners we announced today.
Yes.
So,
and 1 winner next week.
Yeah. So cool, man. What have you been up to? What was the weekend like for you? What did it hold?
Yeah, last weekend I went up to the cabin, my buddy's Joe's cabin, and I helped him prep and get ready for a party/wedding reception.
Okay.
And so this weekend was the party/wedding reception.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And so I went and stayed at some other buddy's house. That there's a lot of cabins in that area that you can rent. And then we have another buddy who has a cabin in that same area. Oh. And he was invited to the party as well. So as soon as I found out that I was headed up to this event, I messaged my buddy. I was like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And he was like, oh, I'm headed off to Joe's wedding reception. Are you going too? And I said, yeah. And I was like, can we crash at your house? And he's like, absolutely. And so that worked out really well.
Nice.
Walking distance, from the party. So that was pretty nice. So let's see. So the assistant went and worked at the Minnie's assistant, like field day. They have this like day where at schools,
They do a bunch of radio stuff?
No. They go and play.
That's what field day is, Jimmy.
No, they go play and have an event out in a field at a park.
Yeah, that's what you do for field day.
For radios?
Yeah.
Different type of playing.
Oh, okay.
Days where, since the mini assistants in 3rd grade heading to 4th, they were just doing some, they had like a kickball game. They had like these squirter games. They had this cool contraption that you would put a water balloon in.
Okay.
And then you would hold it like it would be like hot potato kind of. Okay. You'd be holding it over your head, and it had like a countdown timer in it before something punctured the water balloon. Okay. And so somebody held had the water balloon near or over their head before the water balloon popped, and they would just pass it around like a circle.
Okay.
And then they had a bunch of fun little games, but since the assistant volunteered at the mini assistant school, she took the day off from her work, and the event ended about 11. So we were able to head up to the mountains at a decent time. And so a bunch of our college friends all scheduled to go to dinner together at a restaurant up in the area, Mia's, and that has good burgers and good pizzas and it had some good food, really good food for that area. And there was 19 of us like going out. Yeah. But I mean, we're looking at families too, right? So it's like, we were a family of 2, but there was a bunch of families of 4s and few families of 3s. And so, there was only like 4 or 5 families that went. Yeah. But the families were decently sized.
Okay.
And so that dinner was at 5:30. So we went up there, and before we all decided that we'll just pre-order to just help them. Yeah. And we could get our food a little bit quicker. And so they asked everybody what do you want for, like, do you want an appetizer, or do you want a salad, or what do you want for a main course? And if it's pizza, what is it? And so we said we wanted this pear salad and we wanted this veggie pizza. And then a bunch of people were like, yeah, we can get in on that. Or let's get a few salads and, pizzas. And one of our buddies wrote in and he said, I want a margarita chopped shrimp. Right. Okay. You're giving me a funny look. And that's sort of, I was like, what? And I was like, oh, he wants a margarita pizza, chopped salad, and a coconut shrimp.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was like, I was thinking a tequila drink and then a chopped salad and then like some shrimp on the side or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they make killer sangria.
Okay.
So when I walked in, they're like, you guys want anything to drink? I'm like, 3 pitchers of sangria, please. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, you heard me. And that was perfect. We actually barely finished it. So anyways, what was ordered was a margarita pizza with chopped shrimp on it.
Okay.
And it was the biggest joke because the guy realized that he might have ordered the wrong thing before we got our food.
Okay.
And so Paul was like, asked the server, she's like, are you guys making the pizzas yet? She's like, yeah, why? And he's like, I realized I ordered something incorrectly. And they're like, ooh, okay. So then they threw in an extra cheese pizza just for the kids kind of at that point. But when the margarita and shrimp pizza came out, everybody wanted to try it. And it was, besides the pepperoni pizza, it was the only other pizza that got completely finished.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty good. It wasn't, I wouldn't order it again, but I mean, if it came to the table, I'd definitely eat it again. But are you not a seafood fan?
I don't do seafood.
Okay. Yeah, it was fine, but it was just hilarious that, there was a total lack of communication. One guy's like, well, I was driving. I had to give you the short and dirty. And the guy's like, you were driving next to your wife. Why didn't you just hand her the phone, and tell her what you wanted to order? And then, so that came out. So we ordered, it was funny. It was just, that was the biggest laugh. And everybody was joking about it the whole entire time that we ate a margarita shrimp pizza. But yeah, so then we all went over to our place at my buddy Nixon's house and hung out there for a few hours, drank some beers, relaxed. And then pretty much everybody went back to their places. Next morning, we, another cabin, Jimbo's cabin, organized a brunch and they had Bloody Marys and mimosas and then, biscuits and gravy, eggs, bacon, a bunch of fruits and fruit salads and the works kind of a thing. So we hung out there for a bunch of hours and then I went back to Joe's cabin and I hooked up the jockey box because I brought up my jockey box, which was kind of funny because I haven't set that up in a bunch of years because I used to throw an Easter party and we will again next year, but COVID happened. And so I couldn't throw the party for a few years. And I don't think the last year I did the Easter party, I think I just bought a bunch of random beers instead of a keg. And so I went to get my jockey box and I realized I'm missing like half of the things for the jockey box. Okay. So I had to go and rebuild the jockey box while I was up there. And a slightly funny story about that is I got it running, but every time I was like playing with the pressure to make sure it was flowing well, I heard this weird hiss, and I was kind of like, "That's weird," but it's pouring great. And so by the end of the night, I went to go clean the jockey box out, and a jockey box. My jockey box is like a cast iron block that's sort of a radiator. Okay, right, and then you put ice on top of that, and then it
chills all the liquid as it goes through.
Yeah, it comes in to the cast iron block, and it chills it before it comes out the tap handle. A lot of jockey boxes are those copper rings that people use. So, that's the versions. Anyways, when I opened the lid for the ice chest, the entire ice chest was full of beer and cider. And I was like, there's a leak somewhere.
There's a leak.
So I don't know how many gallons were inside of there, but
yeah,
we ended up finishing 3 pony kegs, 5-gallon kegs.
Okay.
So we had a good time. There was a lack of communication between the men and the women, and the women got upset at the men because all the men asked the groom what the attire was for the celebration, and apparently the groom didn't care as much as the bride, and so the bride wanted fancier attire than what the groom cared for. And so then all the women were mad at us because we didn't ask the appropriate person. And I was kind of like, well, if you were that concerned, maybe you guys should have asked.
Yeah.
But that also didn't go over well.
Yeah. Whoever has more concern about a topic, that's the one that should probably be handling that topic.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was like, I didn't read it anywhere, you know, and they're like, no, it's in the email. And so I went to the emails. It's not in the email. And then somebody's like, it's on the website. And I was like, I didn't even go to a website.
Yeah.
So they had a whole, like registration website, and it wasn't on the website. The only way that you could find it was you had to register for the website or for their event. And then it told you the attire.
Interesting.
And I was like, no, Joe, I'm coming. Like, I'll be there. I'm telling you. So, the assistant and I drove down to Twainhart and we went thrift store shopping. And unfortunately, there was no like gaudy suits because I totally would have bought like a baby blue suit and rocked that.
A Dumb and Dumber suit.
Yeah, something, or like, that yellow one with the ruffles in the front or something. But, so the assistant bought a nice blouse and then she wore jeans, and Jimbo, his entire family forgot all their nice clothes on like at the house. And so they were like jeans and t-shirts.
I'd say knowing Jimbo is probably just naked anyways.
Almost. By the end of the night, if there was a hot tub around, he probably would have been.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but it was a great night. I mean, the event went well. It went from 4 to 8, but nobody left at 8.
Yeah.
A lot of the parents with some kids like took the kids home, and a lot of the like family and stuff kind of left about that time, but all the college friends pretty much hung out and till the wee hours, and the band left around 8 and the food truck left around 8. But it was a good event. It was low key, just chill, relax, hang out, socialize. They didn't do they did a first dance and then said thank you. And that's about all they did.
Okay.
And otherwise it was a barbecue food truck, which was very tasty.
Nice.
The assistant, who's vegetarian, walked up and said, "What should I have?" I'm a vegetarian. And
pulled pork.
Yeah. And they said, well, all of our sides are vegetarian.
Oh, nice.
And so they're like, we make a side platter. And for, you get a version, small thing of every single one of our sides. And she's like, awesome. Later, she went back and said that everything was amazing. That was awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. And they said, well, their daughter's vegetarian.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so they needed to have a vegetarian option.
Yeah.
Because if their daughter ever ate there, and then she's like, well, that worked out great.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. At some point I stopped drinking beer and went to the whiskey and started drinking out of the whiskey cabinet, which was, I think, is a good move for me and my condition of gout and eating some meat during the red meat during the day, which is, gout's not fond of red meat and beer, which was my life for a long time. But, so I moved to the whiskey and hung out, and everybody else, we pulled a bunch of hay bales around us and sat in a circle and talked for a few hours. And then everybody else started wandering away, and the assistant and the groom and I went into the cabin and sat for like another half an hour, 45 minutes till we finished our drinks and said goodnight and went back to my buddy's cabin. And about 1:30 in the morning, I think we went to bed. So it was a fun time. It was a really relaxing time.
Nice.
Woke up a little groggy. I wouldn't say I was hungover, but I was definitely slow. Did a lot of packing up and cleaning of the cabin, and then went back to Joe's cabin and cleaned up all the jockey box and everything, and then packed up the entire truck up, Charlotte, and then we drove out to Pinecrest Lake, hung out there for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then it started downpouring on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, time to go. But it was interesting.
Was that on Sunday?
That was Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we got half an hour down the hill and it wasn't raining anymore.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then on the way home, we picked up the mini assistant and then drove the rest of the way back home.
Nice.
So it was a good weekend. Just great. There was a lot of guys from my like college group, and slightly after college, we formed this group of friends that we would do a lot of backpacking with. And I can't really remember the last time that this group, pretty much all the guys got back together.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We did a guys group photo because I can't tell you the last time that this entire group was together.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were saying, "Oh, we were all together for this wedding out in Germany." I was like, "Well, I wasn't there."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, all of us together.
Uh-huh.
Or I'm not included in that group. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great time. Got to see some friends that I haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Catch up with a lot of them. We have a guys text group for all of our friends. And when, the attire, the clothing attire issue came up, all the women now have a text group. So that's I think that's funny. I don't think it'll last. I think it's going to be one of those things that gets buried and then something happens and then they, need to find that group again. Because it's not like that, they're not all friends from college like we are. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was low key, good time with friends, beers between friends. It was cool. It was a good time.
Sweet.
Yeah. How
Sounds
about you?
good.
You went out camping, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. This was kind of our first camping trip of the summer season, right?
Okay. I'll go with that.
And we were trying to get up to the undisclosed location.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Trying?
Trying. Yeah. Okay. So there was, the fire ripped through there a couple of years ago. But there was rumor that down the campground, the campsite is down at the very bottom of the canyon, right? And so there was rumor that the fire had skipped over the campsite, but like everything around the campsite was it's toothpicks, burnt toothpicks right now.
Okay.
And so we were like,
the mini assistant wouldn't like to hear that. She wants that toilet to die.
Yeah. Right. And so, we wanted to go down and check out and see if that rumor was true, see if the campsite was still there or if it was just completely all burned out.
Could you even make it close to there? Because it is sort of high in elevation.
It's LaPorte is 3,000, 3,500 feet maybe. So I think the total elevation is 445 maybe.
Right.
And they had the road closed right at the north end of LaPorte.
Oh.
And so we're sitting there.
Where that off-road area is that LaPorte?
No, that's Yuba City, I think.
No, there's one up there also. Up in that area somewhere.
Okay.
There's an OHV park out there somewhere.
No shit.
Yeah. You drive past it every time.
Yeah.
It's right by, there's a restaurant that has a bunch of dollar bills up like Uncle Tom's out there as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time we'll have to check it out. There was an OHV information center specifically. It said, I think Plumas County OHV Information Center. I think it was what it said on it. And that was right where the road is closed at.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm confused, but we're thinking of the same spot.
Maybe. Yeah. And so we're sitting there trying to figure out, okay, well, what do we do now for the weekend?
Yeah.
I got to pivot and find a new place to go. And while we were doing that, some dude came driving down the road, got to the gate, turned around and then disappeared and came out from a side little like dirt road around the gate.
Interesting. Okay.
And so he pulls up and he goes, "Hey, you guys looking to go up this way?" We're like, "Yeah, we're trying to get up here to this location." He goes, "Oh yeah, you're not getting there." He goes, "Right about 10 minutes up the road from here, you hit 14 feet of snow everywhere." And I was like, "Oh my God, there's still that much snow up in the Sierras. It's crazy." And they said, they still haven't got the road cleared up to the pass. And they just barely got it open for the cabins up in the area.
Dang.
So he said, you're not making it out there at all. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Thanks for the info.
Yeah. Where should we go?
So we pulled up iOverlander and I pulled up Gaia and the Forest Service maps. and started looking around for campgrounds and campsites and dispersed campus areas that people have labeled an iOverlander. And we found 3 that looked promising. So we
were down by you.
That were down, down lower elevation here. So we backtracked maybe 10 minutes down Quincy LaPorte Road and ended up finding Sly Creek Campground.
Okay.
And there's a Sly Creek Reservoir right there. So we camped near that. We went into the campground and it was open and operational. And it wasn't full, but there was quite a few people out there. And we're like, This isn't what we're looking for.
Okay.
And so we went and found a dispersed campsite down an obscure road that is Sierra Pacific Industries, the logging company that owns like a shit ton of the Sierras.
Yeah.
They had a little private road that was labeled as, just be respectful, don't wander off of the road kind of thing. And then we went down and we were just following it as far as we could go. And then there was a gate up on the road because we were trying to get onto the creek that the Sly Creek Reservoir drains partly. No, the creek drains into the reservoir. It's a feeder creek into the reservoir. And so we were just kind of up the hill a little bit from the creek and we were trying to follow the road to see if it would ever drop down so we can get right next to the creek. And it never did before we hit the gate. So we ended up, there's a big turnaround spot right there 20 yards before the gate or so. So we parked in the turnaround spot and hung out there for the weekend.
Oh, okay.
And there was a little footpath that went from there down to the creek, but there was a couple of trees that had fallen over the footpath. And so I got to pull out the new chainsaw.
Nice.
And cut up the trees and play around with that. But otherwise we had the trailer set up there and we only got like 2, maybe 2.5 hours of direct sunlight where the trailer was parked each day.
Okay. So 2 questions, I guess.
Okay.
Since you're parked in the turnaround spot, did a lot of vehicles come down that way?
Yep. But it was a big turnaround spot. You could probably put 30 rigs in there if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious if other like big rigs came down because that would be my assumption that they were using that as their turnaround.
That would be a good, I think if the gate was open and they were logging, there probably is what they use that turnaround spot for the logging trucks. But the gate was closed and we saw 4 vehicles all the weekend.
Nice. Okay. And since you're only getting 2 hours of sunlight, how did the battery solar power situation work out?
It still worked out well. We had enough power to last the whole weekend. But the first day, which was Friday, getting up there, ran lights at nighttime and cooked dinner on the new burner. So I got a dual burner. No, infrared, but it's just 2 burners in one rather than single burners. Right. And so what it does, because the 2 single burners pulled 1,000 watts each.
Yes.
And that maxed out the 2,000 watt inverter.
Of course. Yeah.
So this dual burner has a slightly bigger burner and a slightly smaller burner, and it only pulls 1,700 watts, 1,600 watts when both are on.
Nice.
So it doesn't max out. It doesn't max out the inverter. Worked great. We're able to cook 2 things at once. And so after that first night, we were down to about 78% power in the batteries. And then during the day, we cooked breakfast and it went down to about 70%. So breakfast and coffee. And then during the day, it got charged back up to just under 80%. So like 79, 80%.
Oh.
And then
so it went up in 2 hours, it went up 10%.
Yep. Roughly. So, and then made dinner and ran lights, ran music. In the evening time, we stayed up a little later Saturday night, playing some card games. And then woke up in the morning on Sunday. And after I cooked breakfast and put everything away, the batteries were at about 50% power. So
yeah. So you're doing fine.
Yeah. I think we're doing just fine.
50% power in a day and a half.
With only about 5 hours total of charging time in the sun. And that's not hooked up to the Bronco and charging off the Bronco at all.
Cool.
So yeah, thought it worked out really well. Yeah, it was a good, fun weekend. We went down and hung out by the creek pretty much all day Saturday in the afternoon and early afternoon to late afternoon, hung out down there and had the dog with us. What is he? The intern?
The intern.
The intern with us. So he was with us the whole weekend. Had a good time. It was nice to disconnect.
Yeah.
Because I've been working a lot of long hours, and I realized I normally go wheeling at least once a month, if not 2 to 3 times a month. And I haven't been wheeling since my birthday, April 6th.
Wow.
That weekend.
Dang. Okay.
So 2 months and I haven't been up to the mountains. So I realized, owning a business is fun. Like I get, it's a fun, constant shift of puzzles going on that have to be solved. Right. And I enjoy it, but I realize that I'm not getting time to reset. I'm not taking time to go and up to the Sierras.
You need to take your own business advice. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you as an employer give 1 day a week or a month
yep.
to your employees to disconnect, really to go off-roading is what you entice them to go and do.
Yep.
But to disconnect is really what it turns into, right? Because
8 hours to disconnect, get away from the job, and go do something fun.
And you need to do that.
I need to remember to do that. Yeah. So, so that's what I did this weekend, and it was fantastic.
Yes.
So
it definitely is. Whenever I go to Joe's cabin, he doesn't have internet at his cabin. He specifically, like, there's no cable, no internet. There's not even a phone, which is kind of interesting. But the cabin I went to this weekend, Nixon's cabin, has a Starlink, and so it was internet. So most of the time, whenever I go up to the cabin, I'm not there's barely cell phone reception up there. I have to stand in a certain area in the house for the phone to work to get text messages.
It doesn't have a cell phone tree?
No.
Like the Rubicon Trail does?
No, nothing of it. And it's on a weird position. So AT&T comes in pretty good, but I am on the Verizon network. And so doesn't get the best service at his cabin, but it's kind of nice those times that I'm at his cabin to just no, you really just can't get a hold of me. There's not even cell reception up there.
Did you know, speaking of cell reception, AT&T, do you know why AT&T works so much better in the mountains, in mountainous areas?
Is it on a different frequency?
Nope. They have a bunch of contracts with search and rescue places. And so because they help set up some of the infrastructure for search and rescue teams, they get search and rescue funding to set up cell towers in obscure locations up in the mountains.
Interesting.
So AT&T will typically, at least in the Sierras, it always will beat out every other carrier for mountain stuff.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, I had I had my Starlink with us.
Yeah, but you were in the middle of the trees.
We were kind of in the middle of the trees. So we would have 2 to 3 megabits per second of download speed for 30 seconds at a time. And then there'd be a 2-minute dropout.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much just enough to send text messages or message people or do emails if I wanted to sit there and do emails, but we couldn't stream anything. We couldn't view Facebook or Instagram, the feeds. So
that's the drawback of Starlink, right? You need a direct line of sight to
the satellites
up there at that whatever angle that is. So yeah, that's the bummer. So we had a Starlink. He was getting 160.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, how much does that cost? $89 because it's the station. It's the house version.
Yeah.
I was like, I pay $65 at the new house for 16.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Starlink.
Yeah. They're nice. Whenever we have been set up in clear skies, we get 120, 130 easy on the mobile one. So, and that's 150 a month.
Yeah.
Mobile.
I don't know if I can do the mobile one though.
Yeah.
You
would be better off with the in-place one, I think.
Yeah. Well, and especially because a lot of times when I go out wheeling, I don't have the family with me.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm going leaving, I'm taking the internet. I don't think that'd go over very well.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'd have to get both.
Yeah.
Or just go out with you.
Yeah. And use mine. Yeah. Apparently Ozzy got a Starlink here recently too. So you can go out wheeling with him too.
No, but I don't know.
But then you have to deal with, traveling with an import.
I know. Yeah. A Jeep version of a buggy and an import that doesn't really speak English.
Dude, I don't remember what he was saying the other day, but he said something and I sat there for a second. I was like, it's like he's speaking English, but I don't know what the fuck he just said.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, English, please.
Yeah. Speaking of Ozzy, I mean, do you, we've talked about it just a bit that you were getting a new employee and that Justin was coming over, but so how do you want to talk about his role and how he's going, how things are going with him?
He's taking over. He's going to be doing our events.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we have a booth up at like Sierra Trek or out at Trail Hero or King of the Hammers or Pacific Northwest Overland Expos or any of the expos, I want to try and get a booth out at eventually the Offroad Expo, Pomona.
Yeah.
And so there's a bunch of events that I just realized I do not like doing events. I like going to the events, but I don't like working events.
Sure.
And so, he's going to be doing that. He's going to be doing, taking over, all of our retail accounts.
Yeah.
And so, it'll be fun. We set him up in our, the Morphlate managers group chat.
Oh,
and that has gone, I thought it was already like gone downhill as far as it could go. No, but it's gone further.
Oh man.
we can never have an HR department now. Never.
Yeah.
So, no, it's fun. It's fun. He fits right in. The guys are always razzing on each other and it's hilarious to watch them pick on each other.
Yeah.
Cause yeah.
Oh, we knew he was going to be a good fit. Yes. I mean, it's nice to hire somebody that you already know.
Yeah.
And you know how his functionality and mannerisms and everything.
Yeah. And it's nice to do that, but at the same time, it's also kind of worrisome to hire people, because then you're like, how do you keep that work friendship boundary balance going? We'll see how it goes.
You don't want to ruin the friendship out of it.
Yeah, exactly. True. So we'll see how it goes. So far he's fitting in great.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of, the retail stuff wasn't something I really focused on in the business. I'm so customer service focused with everything that he has a lot of groundwork to do in order to get it so he can actually do his job.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's what he's working on right now.
That's good. It's a good spot to be at, to have somebody that actually knows how to do some of those things and get it up to snuff.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. That'll be fun. I did tell him that we're going to be wrapping his buggy in neon green, and he didn't like that. So
do you want to keep it purple?
He wants to keep it purple. I don't understand why, but
maybe it's his favorite color. It seems like an Aussie color.
It's an Aussie thing to do. Yeah.
But their color, what's their flag? It's yellow and blue, right?
I don't even know what their flag is. No, it's like stars or something. It's like blue,
it's
with
blue and
a couple
white
stars.
Why do they always wear yellow then?
Are you sure you're thinking of Australia?
I'm thinking of the New Zealand flag looks kind of like
don't start saying that they're mixing. You're mixing them up with New Zealand.
Aren't their flags similar?
I don't know.
The door just cracked.
The door just cracked
to
open.
The shop.
He's standing right there.
Is he?
No, that's somebody else. I don't know who that is. So anyways, yeah, he's been good. So we'll see if it stays that way or if I have to fire him here shortly.
Okay, so the Australian flag has the British flag in the upper left, which is that it's a plus that's red, and then it's outlined in white, but then it has an X behind it, right? That's in red and white, and then it has a bunch of stars. It has
the Southern Cross. It looks like
like a Southern Cross, and then another star on it.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what it stands for.
All their
maybe he'll tell us.
All the colors they wear, like in sports, are yellow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let's look up New Zealand. So
I do know. So I did go and drop off everything up at Ories.
Oh,
yeah, for the
here's the New Zealand flag.
Okay,
it's like identical except the stars are in a different color and there's less stars.
Yeah, there's one less star.
One less star. Two less stars. And the stars are in red instead of white.
Gotcha.
I told you they were similar.
Who copied who?
I don't know.
Anyways, I went and we dropped everything off. We took Ozzy's truck.
Oh, okay.
Which is the inline 6 Cummins, the 6.7 Cummins.
Ram 2500?
Yep, a Ram 2500 Laramie, and drove great. He made me drive it.
Okay, cool.
So more on that later, but we took everything up to Ories, dropped it all off, and him and Ori immediately got into like a 2-hour discussion about engines that they have in Australia that we can't get in the United States.
Yes.
So I was like, yep, cool. I'm going to go to work on some customer service stuff, made some phone calls.
You just sat in the truck and worked on a computer for a while?
No, I was on the cell phone, but Orie has a rig up there right now. It's an FJ80.
Okay.
That belongs to Will Wing.
Really?
Yeah. So Will is 3-linking his 80.
Oh.
And Orie's doing all the work on it.
With a
four-wheel underground. Yep.
Yep.
4-wheel underground front 3-link. So Orie's doing all that work right now, finishing it up.
Well, that's good. He's getting a little experience with 4-wheel underground before he gets onto yours.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of experience on mine. And then he's got to finish up a rig for Trevor's brother. So Trevor from WFO.
Yes.
He has a rig, a Chevy they're finishing up for his brother.
Cool.
And then it'll be on to mine.
Sweet. Well, that's exciting.
Yep.
Are we going to figure out a new name for the rig since it's like becoming bigger and badder? Like, is it going to become a Ninja Turtle?
Ooh, that'd be fun. Donatello.
Yeah, but it's a frog. So would it become a toad?
Turtle.
I don't know.
What is the
what
toad's
would be
name
a
from
Superman
Mario?
version of Kermit?
Superman version of Kermit. The Hulk?
Maybe. Yeah.
Banner, Bruce
What
Banner.
were you saying? The turtles.
What is the toad's name from Super Mario?
Toad?
Yeah, is that his name? Toad?
I'm picturing the mushroom guy when you say Toad.
Oh. Is it the mushroom guy, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Toad.
Peach and the Toad. Oh, is that the mushroom guy's name is Toad?
Toad.
Oh, I thought he was a toad. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I don't know. We'll have to think of other toads.
Yeah, if somebody out there has a good idea for to rename the Forerunner, which is named Kermit, to something more fuerte.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Oh, before I took everything over to Ories, I brought the Forerunner into the warehouse and played around with the forklift and a tape measure.
Nice. Okay.
So I got all the measurements off. We had talked about wanting to do that.
Yes.
So we can do a comparison of before and after.
Yeah, that's great. Good. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah. So
what measurements did you get?
we got, we flexed out the rear driver tire and then the front driver tire.
Okay.
And so the rear driver from the very bottom point of the tire to the ground was 30 inches.
Okay. And that was, you lifted the rear driver tire up, and that was, you lifted it up till another tire just barely came off the ground?
Yep.
And, all right. So 30 inches.
30 inches. The front tire was 28 inches.
Okay.
And then just sitting flat on the ground at 30 PSI in the tires, 30, 32. The frame is 30 inches off the ground.
Did you find the lowest hanging point?
So yeah, the lowest hanging point on like my transfer case skid plate, which is lowest hanging, is 25 3/4 inches.
Okay.
So my diffs are 14 inches ground clearance.
Yes.
So on 40-inch tires and Toyota 8-inch axles,
14 inches of clearance.
14 inches ground clearance under the diffs.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah. Wheelbase. What do you think the wheelbase is on the 4Runner?
Wheelbase.
Uh-huh.
And so, wait, let me get this right. So wheelbase is front, center hub of front to the center hub of rear.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're at 109.
Ooh, closer than what I thought it was. 105.
105.
Yeah. Okay. Which is short. It's shorter than I thought it was. I thought I was in like 112, 113 range. 4-door JKs are 116. 4-door JLs are 117.
Okay.
So I am a foot shorter than a 4-door Jeep.
Yeah.
And a 4-door 4Runner.
And I'm a foot longer.
And you're a foot longer than a 4-door Jeep. Yeah. So 2 foot difference between you and me, pretty much.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. I didn't think it was that much.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that
I thought
short
you were in,
either.
I almost said 12. And then I was like, no, he's shorter.
Yeah. I thought I was in the 112. I've never measured the wheelbase of the 4Runner before.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, the track width of the front axle. So
where'd you measure that from?
Outside tire.
Okay.
Yep.
From a lug. You just did a lug to lug.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Corner lug on the tire.
I would guess you're 75.
Ooh, close. 74.
74.
Yep. And then 1 inch shorter on the rear. 1 inch narrower on the rear.
Really?
73 inches on the rear. Yeah.
I wonder why that is. What wheel spacers do you have on the front?
1.5 wheel spacers. So should be pretty square on.
Should be.
So
you must have an older rear axle. You must not have the IFS rear axle for some reason.
But then I would be 3 inches shorter, not 1 inch shorter.
Now, was it 3 inches? I thought it was only.
Yeah, 3 inches.
Yeah, it was 3 inches.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I'm guessing that we just didn't use the same lugs on the tire, the exact same for the front and the rear. And there's a 1 inch difference.
How would that affect it? What do you mean? The lug, like
as the measuring point on the tires?
Got it. You used one of the smaller, shorter inner ones instead of the bigger, fatter outer one.
I mean, it's only a difference of 1/2 inch on each tire. So, right. So,
so the different of tread location of measuring.
That'd be my guess is what is due to that 1 inch difference. So, that's all that.
That's a good measurement starting point, I think, for sure. Did you figure out at what degree you could be at before it falls on its side?
No, we did not do that one. That one would have been a fun one to do. Oh, I didn't get the steering degrees either. That one would have been a fun one to do.
Yeah, that one would have been pretty interesting.
Because the Reed Super Kingpins, you can get like 50 degrees of steering out of them.
What?
Yeah.
Can you?
Supposedly, yeah.
I thought that was only Poison Spider? Spider Tracks.
No. Yeah. 45 or 50. I think Spider Tracks, you can get like 52. Like, I think you can get beyond 50.
I thought they were only around 50.
But,
and most people don't do that because they're concerned that they're going to bust something, but a lot of people can.
Yeah. The U-joints don't like going very much beyond that.
I was sitting in Hustle Nuts' buggy the other day and I was like, is your front axle like, is the steering connected or is it just loose right now? Because I was looking at his passenger side front tire. He was turned driver. And I was staring at like the whole tire.
It's just like you thought it was perfectly perpendicular to you.
Yeah, it looked, yes. And I was like, it just looks broken. Like it doesn't look good. Like, is that even functional right now? And it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yep. Like, so I don't think I'm going to get the full extent of the steering.
But you'll be better than.
I'll be way better than what
we can figure out the steering. We can measure mine and figure out what the steering is. I mean, in theory, it should be same or very close.
Yeah, I agree. So anyways, yeah, those the measurements. I think some of the things I'm going for is a little bit longer wheelbase. I'd like to be in the 108 to 110 range. So it's going to be extended 3 to 4 inches.
Yep.
And that'll be in the front axle moving forward.
Correct. Yeah.
Track width, front and rear. I'm going to be in the front. I believe it is, 86.5 is what I'm going to be at. And then the rear is going to be about 87 3/4.
But that is your axle, right? That's mounting surface.
No, that's the full track width is what I'm going for. The WMS is almost wider than what the track width is now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So your WMS is 75.
75, 76, right around there.
Wow.
Wheelbase, we already did that. Diffs, I have no clue.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting to see how much clearance I lose.
Did you measure front and rear on that one?
Yeah. They're both 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Which would make sense, but I was just curious if there was a difference.
Yeah. TK skid plate. I actually thought I was higher than that. 25 and 3. I thought I was like a 27.
Yeah, me too.
So 25 and 7.5. I'd like to stay around the 25-inch range on the transfer case skid, which means my frame will be about the same.
Yeah,
30 inches. So that'll be the goal.
You're not adjusting that.
I'm not adjusting that. I'm not trying to, at least. We'll see how much it does adjust just due to packaging and the coilovers and springs and everything.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I don't know why that would change besides your engine location might be changing, but that might adjust ever so slightly on like a pendulum,
maybe,
right? The height of your T case.
Yeah.
Also, your frame height might adjust, which would change those.
Correct. So it all depends on the suspension.
That's what you meant
right?
by suspension. Got it. I'm thinking of like, what would make the T case lower? And you're saying, no, my suspension might be ever so slightly lower overall, which would make the frame lower. Okay. Yeah. So your frame height's going to adjust, which would change your T case.
Exactly. And then for flex, I'm hoping to beat 37 inches. That's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting that You know,
if I could beat 40 inches, if I could flex the tires out more, if I can flex the suspension more than the tires are tall,
that's crazy.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get to that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that, you know, you would flex, like you lifted the driver's side front tire, right? And what'd you get?
28 inches.
28 inches. But you can drive up onto, you know, a 37 inch tire. So I think it's interesting that when you're off-roading, there's different forces at play than when you're in a shop just lifting it up with a forklift.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't really give you the true test. I mean, it's going to be, you could do a similar test, right? Because you're going to put it under similar forces and loads by just now you're going to bring it back here and put it under a forklift again. But it's not actually how much flex you get.
Yeah.
There's so much more flex into it.
Yeah.
You know, that it's kind of funny how that works.
Yep.
Because that just goes to show when, you know, if you're in a shop and you're testing it out and you're like, oh, you know, I'm at this angle and this steering and, you know, my tire's not hitting my frame.
Yeah.
But then when you go out onto the trail, it's a different world.
Yep.
Your tire might hit your frame because something else you got flex happening in another spot that you can't replicate in a garage with a forklift.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. I've noticed that too. Like I'll flex it out on the forklift here, and then I go out on the trail. I'm like, I'm flexing more on the trail than a forklift. Like, but that's just how the forces work in suspension articulation. So
and it's how, like, even an RTI ramp, right? You can flex more out on the trail for some reason than driving up an RTI ramp.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I pulled up onto Joe's Carnage Welders tires, and he had like 43-inch stickies.
Yes.
But granted, they probably were very low PSI. And so they're not 43s, but
they're probably still 39, 40 inches up.
Maybe, you know, and granted, I wasn't at the peak, like absolute top of it. I was like, am I at the top? He's like, yeah. And then I hopped out. I'm like, I could have gone more. Anyways, but I get more than 20, what was it? 27, 28 inches of travel when you do that, but you can't replicate it. It's just weird how that works. Like, it's hard to replicate.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to replicate. And it was also weird. Like I had it up, the front up, and I was like, the hood was over my head. Like my headlight was over my head. And I was like, that just looks like it's really up there. And then I measured it and I was like, it's only 28 inches.
Yeah.
It seems weird. But yeah, it's, I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
My goal is 37 inches just because Ozzy was giving me shit that he can get his JL to 37 inches. Measuring under the tires, flexing it out on a forklift. So I'm like, if I beat 37, then I can get back and give him shit.
Have him shut up.
Exactly. So anyways, that's stats beforehand. And we'll do all the exact same tests and take all the same measurements and see how it compares once everything's done.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited to see that result and how things come out.
Yep. Well, cool. That's all I got, man. Yeah, had a fun camping weekend. Got to drop everything off at Ories. And then, just moving forward with everything else.
Yeah,
been busy.
Totally. Well, I want to remind everybody to don't forget about the giveaway going on this week over on Snail Trail 4x4's podcast, or on the Instagram, excuse me. We're giving away one of those drill drivers and the impact kit, that's going on. That sounded really weird. We're giving away the drill driver impact kit from Flex Power Tools. Thanks very much, Flex, for donating those and being our sponsor for the Flex Power Tool Month. Awesome. If you want to get a hold of us, you can do that at, I'm over on Instagram, Snail Trail 4x4, where the giveaway is going on. Tyler's over at 4x4 Toyota Tyler. You can get us on our email, Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com. You can also phone in and leave a message and comment or question anything that we went over in this podcast or any of the other podcasts. And that is 916-345-4744.
Sweet. With that, Jimmy, do you got any final words for everybody out there?
I sure hope Kermit beats the buggy.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Okay. Ready?
What do you call a cow that just gave birth?
I don't know.
Decaffeinated.
That was pretty good.
Going along with my cow jokes.
Yep. Why is Cinderella not a good soccer player?
Because she always loses a shoe.
No, because she's always running away from the ball.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I feel a little bad. Like I feel dirty for saying a dad joke.
Oh, yeah?